Article 39 of the Korean Constitution states that all citizens shall have the duty of national defense under the conditions as prescribed by law. This law was introduced shortly after Korea split into two nations and was enforced in 1957, following the ceasefire that was put into place. The law is still implemented as both Koreas are still technically at war. Upon turning 19, all Korean men have to go through a physical and psychological examination. From this medical examination, there are three outcomes. The first, if an individual is healthy, then they must serve in the armed forces. If someone is not in physical condition for the armed forces, they instead carry out civil services in a public institution. And if someone has a psychological or physical condition that prevents them from serving altogether, they are exempted. The exemption is given to women, classical missions, and athletes performing for national prestige, like the KFA, who can join if they want to, but aren't forced to join. But what do the general populace think of Korean conscription?
Alright, so Mr. Givers, I understand that you are part Korean and part Canadian. Does that mean you have to join the Korean military?
Yes.
Do you want to go to the Korean military?
It is a bit of a mix because I want to go to university quickly, but I also want to join the Korean military so I can keep my Korean citizenship.
Alright. What's your opinion on conscription?
What is that?
That's when the military. So that's when the government forces you to go to the military.
I think it's a good idea, but when it comes to people who are half and half, forcing people to leave your country is a bit far in my opinion.
So as Korea's birth rates are declining, do you think women should be forced to join?
I don't know about this one. It's a bit I haven't really heard of what's going on. I don't really watch the news. I'm half and half on this one.
So have you been in the Korean military?
Yes, I was in the Katusa. So Katusa is a Korean army augmented to U.S. Army. So I was serve my country there as long as U.S. Army. So actually, I like my military experience is is a little bit different than usual Korean army. So yes.
Have there been any controversies or protests that have been related to the forced military service in Korea?
So you mean the protest against Korean army?
Yes.
Actually, I've never experienced, but I've experienced protests a lot against U.S. Army because I was working in the U.S. space. So yeah, there was like 24/7 protests outside of the U.S. space.
What do you think about the forced military service in Korea?
I think because the war is still ongoing, I think we have to keep the military service for mandatory. But of course, like raising pay grade or something like that I think we need to talk about more about that because our population is increasing, but at the same time, North Korea just developed, atomic bombs.
Do you think that women should be forced to go into the military just like men?
Me personally, I don't think we need women in the military still, because a lot of bases is suited for men, is male to serve. So I think no.
How has your experience been in the Korean military?
So as you can see, I'm Korean military officer. So until now, I'm really satisfied with my work, and I'm really proud of myself.
Have there been any controversies or protests, like any problems within the public about the Korean military service?
As a citizen of Korea, Republic of Korea, I think all of the men and women have to go to the military to protect themselves and protect ourselves. You know what? We are still in a war situation with North Korea, so I think we have to protect and we have to be ready. We have to be ready for the situation and occasion.
혹시 군대 입대하셨나요?
2009년에 입대했었어요.
요즘 여성도 그 군대를 많이 가야 한다고 얘기가 많이 나오고 있는데 혹시 그거에 대해서는 혹시 어떤 의견을 갖고 있는지?
군대 입대는 그렇다 치는데 기본적인 군사훈련은 받아야 된다고 생각합니다.
한국은 아직 전쟁 중이라서 그 모든 남성 군인이 시민들이 군대에 가야 되는 징병제가 있는데 혹시 이거에 대한 의견 아니면 불만 같은 점이 있을까요?
불만이라기보다는 아직 종전이 된 게 아니기 때문에 당연히 가야 되는 거라고 가야 되는 게 맞다고 생각합니다.
Conscription is a cornerstone in Korean culture. It is for the people that we interviewed, we gain an insight into the public's opinion on conscription. All Koreans expressed pro-conscription opinions, with the main reason being to North Korea. Of the foreigners who were interviewed, they shared the same sentiment of being pro-conscription in Korea. Although the Korean interviewees had differing opinions on the topic of whether it not should be mandatory for women to join, some said that women and in general everyone should serve in the military. Others disagreed on the basis that the bases or culture are meant for men, or the fact that it may be very laborious and complicated to work on. Regardless of the differing opinions, as reported by the Korean Institute of Defense Analysis, the number of men available for conscription from 2023 to 2035 will increase from 190,000 to 210,000, but that number will sharply decrease every year after 2035, where it has been predicted that by 2040 the available people will be below 120,000. Nonetheless, this nation is under constant threat and it is essential that every single citizen knows what to do in an event of a conflict.